Dying Light 2 is a game that we've been really anticipated to play, excited about for a while, but it's felt like something that has been maybe in a development hell or in a limbo state at this point in time. But finally, we're getting more and more news as we're getting closer to the release date. It's starting to feel real, guys, because we got an official release date and more content that we were able to see and got very, very excited about. And so I want to break all that down for you guys here in this segment of the show. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article written to us by Alex Avard, Sam Loveridge, and Heather Wald of Games Radar, Dying Light 2 gets an official release date. So we're only a few short months away from the new Dying Light 2 Stay Human release date, which means it's time once again to get excited about the parkour running, melee smashing, infected beating open world title. So the first thing, guys, is the release date. Let's talk about it. The Dying Light 2 release date has been delayed once again, with the game shifting to February 4th, 2022. This is another delay for the game, with the title moving from the most recent December 7th, 2021 date, and developer Techland originally delaying the game indefinitely from its previous spring 2020 window. And that was the second delay for the game, as it was initially penciled in for a 2019 release. So look, once this game started getting delayed indefinitely, I was getting concerned about it. Obviously, I've been excited about Dying Light 2. The first one I thought was, I thought it was a pretty awesome concept, so on and so forth. And I was excited to see kind of where they would take that here in the form of Dying Light 2. And obviously when they start delaying it, guys, you start thinking the worst case scenarios. You start thinking, wow, is this in a development hell cycle? Are there issues from the development perspective where there's creative differences? What's going on over at Techland with this title? Because, obviously there's been a lot of hype around Dying Light 2. A lot of people are excited for this title. And when you start talking about, delaying a game indefinitely, it really concerns me, because I'll tell you, one of the things I feel like we have to get better at as an industry when it comes to gaming, I feel like if a game's going to get delayed, they should delay it, but not give us hope or false hope on another, release date. I mean, we're talking 2019 was when the initial release was, then spring of 2020, then December of 2021, and now to February of 2022. I'm not going to hold my breath that we're going to be sticking with February of 2022. I'm definitely hoping. I think we're definitely closer than far away to the release. But I just really want, if you're going to delay a game, don't give us a release date till it is a firm date. That being said, though, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we stick with this date of February 4th, 2022, because I really want to play it, guys. Now, at the end of the day, if it's not ready to be released, if there's going to be a bunch of bugs, glitches, things of that nature, just wait until the game's ready. Dying Light 2, it takes place 15 years after the first game. Set 15 years after the zombie apocalypse hit, the old civilization has fallen. Fighting for resources and punishing the weak, the world you explore is a harsh and brutal place. In Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the civilization is said to have fallen back to the Dark Ages, which was reflected in the city setting, with an open world to explore the blends modern urban buildings with medieval architecture. You'll have the opportunity to make use of your parkour abilities, along with a grappling hook and paraglider to make your way around, which I'm really excited about for sure. The Dying Light 2 gameplay, guys, is really something cool. Alongside the news of an official release date window, Techland also revealed the new title for the upcoming survival horror, now calling Dying Light 2 Stay Human. The developer gave us a fresh look at some gameplay in the latest trailer, as well as detailing some of the action we can expect to see in a recent PlayStation blog post. If you guys haven't seen the gameplay they showed off, I would definitely check it out. Survivors, Peacekeepers, and Renegades are the three different factions in the city who struggle to hold a position in the world, and each faction has its own motivations and approaches. The survivors work to establish safe zones and try to adapt to any situation. Peacekeepers, on the other hand, are described as loyal soldiers who want to impose their version of law and order and trample all in their path. Lastly, the Renegades are made up of ex-prisoners who serve a ruthless colonel and seek to rule the city. Who you help or hinder is up to you, but your actions will affect the world and its inhabitants, which I think is a really cool concept as well. So, There was a lot of concept art, guys, and some exclusive Dying Light 2 concept art. Gives you a first proper look at the new zombies, and the new zombies look really awesome too. I mean, not only does the gameplay look great, guys, but the different creatures, the heroes, all of that, guys, that you see within this game, I mean, it just looks really, really cool, without question. So one of the things that, it was tough for me to really, not so much grasp, but, I guess you could kind of take it from the perspective of they wanted to make this more of an RPG type of style. And I don't really know how I feel about that. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. But one of the most surprising things about Dying Light 2's reveal was the announcement that Chris Avellone, a famed games writer known for his work on multitudes of RPGs from Divinity Original Sin 2 to Fallout New Vegas, has been assisting Techland with designing the game's story, which is now far more ambitious than Kyle Crane's linear tale in Dying Light. So, in a recent interview with our sister publication, Official Xbox Magazine, leader designer on Dying Light 2, Timon Smetala, explained how Dying Light 2 reacts to your good and bad decisions and the fact the game allows you certain ways to fix a costly mistake. I think the biggest thing will be the ability to change the world around you. The moment when you make a decision or you perform some action in the game and you see that the world has changed, you see what kind of power we give you from the actions to the decisions you make. So what's kind of cool about this concept, guys, is, this may really force multiple playthroughs, and that's something that's really cool. On the flip side of that, sometimes a lot of gamers like to have a very linear experience. So no matter what happens at the end of the story, it all eyes, are kind of set towards one, particular ending or another. And look, it's just different types of styles. And I think it's an interesting concept. I'm really hoping it lands well with a lot of the fan base. So the map size, guys, the Dying Light 2 size will be 4 times bigger than the previous game, according to Techland in a recent interview with WCCF Tech. And I think this is really cool. I'm excited to see a larger map, guys. I think that's going to create a lot more of those elements of exploration and things of that nature. So I think that's going to be awesome as well. So Dying Light 2 has more to do than just infected and parkouring. The world of Dying Light 2 will be filled with abandoned structures, which aren't just good for combat and parkour challenges, as they can also be highly functional. Some of them, with your help, can become bakeries, pumpkin farms, schools, and other home building elements. And I'm really interested to see kind of this concept and what this all looks like. You can restore training grounds, for example, which may give you the option to test exotic weapons or take part in bizarre combat trails that let you use your skills in crazy and extreme situations. So let's talk big picture here. Number one, guys, I'm very excited about Dying Light 2. I was really excited years ago, and I'm just as excited now, especially after seeing the new gameplay that came out. I'm concerned in a couple of areas. Number one is obviously that it's, they're kind of taking RPG elements. Not that that's a bad thing, but when you start to go away from what made you special in the first run, first go around with Dying Light, and you're kind of changing things this early, that concerns me a little bit. It could be amazing, guys, but we just have to kind of be, I'm going to be a little bit cautious until we get the actual game. The second thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, even though I'm excited that we're getting a February 4th, 2022 release date, at the same time, you got to take that with a pinch of salt because they've delayed it already multiple times. Could they delay it again? I think it's a possibility. Now, we're closer than we are far away from the title. So fingers crossed it stays. But outside of those couple of concerns, guys, I am incredibly excited about this title. I think it's going to be awesome when we finally get our hands on it. As long as it's fully polished and things of that nature, I think it's going to be incredible. But let me know, guys. The real question is, what do you all think about Dying Light 2 at this point in time? The things that we know, are you excited about it? Are you concerned about it? Let me know. And for more Dying Light 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.